What is going on, guys? My name is Dustin. Welcome back to the channel. It is the end of January 2024 already, 1 month down. And you know what that means? We're going to continue this series where I kind of go through and show you everything I got for the month, physical media-wise. So books, Funko Pops, and most importantly, movies. Now, I just want to say that this year, and I feel like a lot of people have said this year started out a little rough for my wife and I. Nothing crazy, just car troubles and just unexpected expenses, but everything's good now. So that just didn't leave a whole lot in the budget to work with. And to be honest with you, there was nothing really that came out movie-wise that I had to have. There's like 2 titles in here that I knew were coming out, 2 that I really wanted, and I got those, and a couple others. So a very light month for both movies and books. I got 4 books, 4 movies. I guess it's not really a light month in terms of books. I really don't. This is the most books I've gotten in a while. Because I do have a personal goal this year to read 20 books. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to start with the books, and then we're going to get into the movies. And I'm really excited. So, first up here, we have The Deep by Nick Cutter. So, my wife, for Christmas, got me the book that Nick Cutter wrote called The Troop. I showed it off in the December physical media haul, and I read it. It was so good that I couldn't put it down. I read the book in like a week, and that's with working, like reading it at home. Like I literally, no matter what, like if I had downtime at work, I was reading. If I had downtime at home, I was reading. I couldn't put it down. So there was a couple other books by him that I wanted to pick up, this being one of them, and I read this book pretty quick too, and it was really good. I definitely really liked it, and I'm becoming a big fan of Nick Cutter and the way that he writes, because his books are definitely not for the faint of heart. If you are into horror stuff and like reading, definitely check out the stuff Nick Cutter does, because it's, I don't want to say it's extreme horror, definitely not, but like it's up there in terms of like the things he writes about. We'll just put it that way. The way he describes things, rather. Next up, this is probably going to be weird to a lot of people, but I picked this up, and I read this already also. I'm like on my 5th book already this year, which is crazy. Five Nights at Freddy's, the official movie novel. I saw this in Walmart because we just happened to be looking one day. I saw this, and I told my wife on payday, I'm going to come back, and I'm going to grab this book. It was like $10. I picked it up, and I picked up a movie that day, too, which you guys will see here, too. But yeah, I picked this up. Reason being is because my son, my oldest son, super into Five Nights at Freddy's, has been for years now. And, like, he got me really excited for the movie, and he was reading all the graphic novels and telling me about the lore, and I was like, man, that seems like something I would really like. I've known about Five Nights at Freddy's for a long time, like the first game, because of Markiplier. I watched it. I'm pretty sure everybody did. But I never really dove into the lore of the game, or just the lore behind Five Nights at Freddy's in general. And he really got me into it. So when the movie came out, we watched it day 1, loved it. We got it on 4K day 1 when it came out. We were just all about it. And I seen this, I picked it up, and I read it, and it's good. It follows the movie super close. Obviously, it's like based on the movie, but there are some more grisly details about some of the unalivings that happen in the movie, that they obviously don't show. So this is definitely a little more graphic in terms of, what the movie actually showed. Next up here, we have Little Heaven by Nick Cutter. This is the book that I was most excited to read by him. And right now I'm about 87 pages into it. And I'm hooked. So this is going to be my 3rd Nick Cutter book this year. I'm super excited. He has a new one that just came out that I'm going to be picking up as well. But this book so far, super good. It's about like 3 mercenaries that go to this camp that is ran by a religious cult to rescue this guy. But then there's like some strange creature being thing in the woods that like terrorizes. That's just from what I got for it. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to ruin this for people. But this book so far, super good. And then Book of the Month. So this just kind of happened. I had gotten books from Book of the Month in the past, and it renewed because I paused it like during the holidays so I can do Christmas shopping. It renewed, and I never picked a book, so they just kind of sent me one. And this was it. I mean, I technically paid for it. I just didn't pick this book specifically, which I actually have a book to pick tomorrow for February. So, The Fury by Alex Michaelides? I don't know. I read the insert when it came, and it seems like a book that is something I would like, also something my wife would like. I think she started reading it. She said she got a couple pages in and just was thrown off and like not really in the mood to read. So I'm sure she'll be picking this up and reading it, possibly. Now let's get into the movies, because I have a couple here that I am super, super thrilled. The first one being the newest release, which just came out yesterday. Sorry if you guys hear the baby in the background. Just came out yesterday, and that is Eli Roth's Thanksgiving. This movie was awesome. This came actually, like, I had this pre-ordered from Walmart. Walmart canceled my pre-order, so I ordered it from Amazon. And then Walmart ended up shipping my pre-order, so I canceled the Amazon one because there was just no point in having 2 copies. Anyways, this came a day early. My wife and I started watching it on Monday night, and we got caught up doing taxes because it's that time of year. And like, it was just kind of on in the background. I didn't really pay attention to it. So last night we just restarted it and watched it, and this movie is awesome, and I'm so glad that I didn't watch any reviews on it, because this movie I've heard nothing but great things about. Watched it, pleasantly surprised. It actually, like, really kind of exceeded my expectations for it, and I had pretty high expectations. This movie was awesome. I definitely think we're going to get a second one. I hope so, but I really enjoyed this. The kills were phenomenal, super, like, creative, and this movie is just bloody, gory, disgusting awesomeness. So I'm happy with that one. Next up, this showed up in the mail. I did not buy this. This came from Amazon. There was no thank you note. I'm not sure. I would assume it was a gift from somebody. And that is this Steelbook right here for the movie called Kill Her Goats. I looked it up, and apparently this Steelbook was pretty limited. Like, there was only so many they made. I think it was like 50,000 or something. I'm not sure, or if there was just like a special run they did of 50,000 and they like mass marketed Steelbooks. I have no idea. But this showed up. Doing some research on it, Kane Hodder plays the Goat Man in it, and it's just like a bunch of Playboy Playmates getting unalived by Kane Hodder as Goat Man, is what they call him, I think, from what I read. I've not watched this yet, and it was funny, like, I got this and I started researching things, and things started popping up on like YouTube and like Facebook. Apparently this movie's not very good, which excites me even more, because I like movies that aren't good, that are just so like cringy bad that they're awesome. So I'm super excited to check this out. This Steelbook is beautiful. It came with like all kinds of stuff inside. I can't show you too much because nudity, but it came with like this cool holographic sticker, and then this is like an envelope that has 8 different art cards in it. And yeah, they're just, I'm not sure how YouTube's gonna feel about it right now. Like, my monetization and like my CPM is doing really well, so I don't really want to drag that down by showing some things that are in this Steelbook. So there's that. Next up, this was the other release other than Thanksgiving that I was really excited about, and that is Varsity Blues on 4K from, I believe this is from Paramount. Yeah, from Paramount. This is the first time this movie's ever been on 4K. It's the 25th anniversary. It literally says it right up there. 25th anniversary, first time on 4K. This movie is from the 90s, and I remember seeing this on MTV, and it's a football movie. Obviously, with it being on TV and MTV, there was a lot they didn't show. This movie definitely is rated R, and my wife and I are really into football. This year, she really got into like the NFL season, so we're super excited for the Super Bowl. So I grabbed this and we watched it, and she liked it, and it was awesome revisiting this movie. So Varsity Blues, great pickup. Definitely recommend. And then when I picked up that Five Nights at Freddy's book, this is something that I just happened to check the movie section. You know how Walmart gets those special slipcovers, and a lot of the times it's like DVDs, and they started like sprinkling in some Blu-rays here and there. they started doing some 4Ks, and this is one that I saw. This was $20. Definitely could have got this movie cheaper somewhere else, but $20 for a 4K. Has a slipcover. I'm not the biggest fan of the slipcover. I think the only thing I like is it's just a shiny purple. But Beetlejuice, and I have not seen this movie since I was little, and I've always liked this movie. So this was like a rewatch after many, 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 many years. I mean, I'm 31. I haven't watched this movie since I've probably been like, oh man, maybe like 10, 11 years old. So it's been a good while. And my wife and I watched this. The 4K looked awesome. The movie is great. It obviously holds up after all these years. And because this came out in 1988. So it definitely holds up. And it really got me excited for Beetlejuice 2. So I'm kind of curious to see how they're going to do that. Michael Keaton obviously is coming back. Winona Ryder's coming back. And then Jenna Ortega, who is like last year's Scream Queen, is going to be in Beetlejuice 2 as well. So super excited to check out Beetlejuice 2. But that is it, guys, for this month's pickups. In terms of February, I really don't know what all is coming out in terms of releases. I have some other expenses, like my wife and I are getting new phones. She needs a new phone for her business. But, you know, I'm sure I'll pick some stuff up when I see it, if anything's coming out that I'm interested in. But there we go, guys. That is it for the movies. And then, of course, we got the books. So here we go. Yeah, that's everything. Not really a lot, but I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Also, thanks for all the love on the full collection. You guys are awesome. But anyways, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you guys are brand new to the channel. As always, I'll see you later in another video. Bye-bye.